Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, introverts or not. As you may have noticed, and you must have noticed, that right around the Christmas time, the new Star Wars movie came out. And I assume quite a few of us have seen it, right?
Yes.
Yes, right. So, we'll talk about it today. There are no secrets what this talk is about. My history with Star Wars actually starts when I was only 7 years old. My parents were very enthusiastic at the time to see this new movie, which was breaking the boundaries of filmmaking and was already becoming some sort of a social phenomenon. So they decided to share this experience with me. My 7-year-old self, however, was far more interested in looking at the projector, people's shoes, whatever else was happening in the cinema, than at watching a movie. And strangely enough, this experience had not prevented me from becoming a really big Star Wars fan later on. And many years later, I won't say how many, because it's quite controversial, but many years later, I took my 7-year-old daughter to see the new Star Wars movie. And I have to really admit, I went with far less enthusiasm and anticipation. Because by my time, my turn to take my daughter, we have actually two kinds of Star Wars movies. Like the real, original Star Wars movies, where the Force was flowing fiercely between the good and evil, and I really adore them. And the clone Star Wars movies, the so-called prequel trilogy. Who names the movies prequel anyways? And those were these fast-paced, full of computer-generated animation, where the Force and characters, any meaning was lost. Quite frankly, they were nothing more than the Hollywood ATM cash machine. And it was not surprised that I had very little expectations going to cinema. But I was mistaken and surprised, because what I saw that night was a true piece of Star Wars magic. And I hope that after hearing my speech tonight, you will wish to see the movie as well, and perhaps even again. You may ask why. Well, first, there is the feel. Right from the beginning, I was transported in the golden era of sci-fi space sagas, where the characters are far more important of technology, even if they were robots. Where the intergalactic hub, full of strange alien creatures, was brought to reality with an enormous sense of humanity. Where the heroes were not these blonde, blue-eyed, perfectly chiseled Hollywood mannequins. Instead, they were unassuming, reluctant, and skeptical, and they kind of waltz into the storyline as in old westerns. But unlike old westerns, there was no long kisses and pathetic goodbyes for our Star Warsers. As one of them exclaims in the movie, "Escape first and hug later!" Because, as you know, in Star Wars and fighting intergalactic wars in galaxies far, far away, that's a very messy job and very messy business, and the chaos is always around you and always erupts. And that was the feel. Secondly, there was a really strong acknowledgement of time that has passed, for everybody, me included. Movie set 30 years, about 30 years since the last one, and time has certainly taken its toll. The vehicles and robots, they're all evolved, but just as much as it would happen with that kind of time passing. People grew old too, including the heroes of the past. So Han Solo may still wear his old jacket, but the Princess Leia's signature cinnamon bun hairdo is gone forever. There is no Botox for our heroes, and their age shows as they're unable to fight as nimbly as they used to do. But nevertheless, they still try. And they still try with all their heart and with that familiar smile and style and charm that we loved so much. And we have to appreciate it. And then there is the passion with which the movie was made. Director J.J. Abrams must have a force on his side when he had poured all his energy of a true fan to resurrect the classic. You can see that in such a fantastic attention to detail, scenography, costumes, selection of characters, the humor that flows through the movie. He managed to create a true magic of movie that transports us in a time instantly when, believe it or not, Star Wars were truly revolutionary. As the recent Rolling Stone magazine review said, he gave us what every kid in us wants to see when it goes to movies. A marvelous adventure that leaves us surprised, scared, and euphoric. So my friends, for all these reasons, but mostly for that kid in us, I want to encourage you to see this movie if you already haven't. I can't promise you, and there won't be any enlightenment, life-changing choices and experiences. What you can get is a chance to reconnect with your childhood, to spend 2 hours in a galaxy far, far away, engaged, entertained, relaxed. May the Force always be with you. Thank you.